Hey guys, it's Alex from the Fabled Academy. Welcome back to the channel. If you are new here, I am making TCG content mainly at the moment about Sorcery TCG and Flesh and Blood. So let's dive into today's topic. I think it's very interesting at the moment in Flesh and Blood because a new Armory deck was just announced and I'm so glad it was announced. I think it's a fan favorite, it's super exciting and I want to talk about it with you. So let's dive into the video. So at first, when we look at the Armory deck, I want to point out that I began the game of Flesh and Blood in Tales of Aria back when Oldum was announced, and Oldum is a super awesome hero, a very powerful hero that is already a living legend, and it's also a fan favorite. So many people that are Flesh and Blood players at the moment are stoked to see Ice coming back, and those who are not used to it will now discover the strengths of Ice for sure. And Oldum and Jarl, which is the new hero that gets into the stores at November 29th this year, sharing the same elements. So both are Earth and Ice heroes, and I can remember how it was back then. Oldum and Lexi, those were the first two Blitz decks that I bought and played with my girlfriend back then, and it was not that convenient. It was pretty shitty to play with them because when you are first starting to play Flesh and Blood, they are pretty difficult, and I thought the Blitz decks weren't really that good back then to introduce us to the game, and so this has changed a lot. I think, as you might know, there are a few Armory decks already in Flesh and Blood, and I will just make myself a little video here to show them. I have 3 of those here. So these Armory decks look a little bit like this. I have KO and Azalea here, and I also have Bolton, and these cost me around 35 euros each to buy, and Jarl will be a little bit different. These are regular Armory decks, so to say, and when we are taking a look at Jarl, then you will see the product description for Jarl says it's an Armory deck Origins, and it also costs a lot more to buy. So the MSRP is around 60 euros, and I think for, let's see, I think, where is it here? For the KO Armory deck it was 40 euros. So the price went up a bit, but that is also, I think, due to the new cards that are getting announced in the new Jarl deck, which they are also advertising here. So you're getting 10 new card designs, including 23 Majestics and an all new legendary equipment. So that is pretty exciting, I guess, and we already know 2 of the new cards, Crumble to Eternity and Unforgiving, or what is the name again? We will see that in a second. Unforgiving. So those are 2 new cards that we already know that will be in the deck, but there will be also a new legendary equipment. And as we remember, for Oldum there was also a legendary equipment, the Stalagmite Bastion of Isenloft, with also the creation of Frostbites, with maybe coming into Jarl's effect pretty nicely, because when you're playing Jarl, you want to basically make a lot of Frostbites during the game and slow down your opponent. So I think it is super exciting that we're getting this hero in the meta, and also new players can getting into the game with Earth and Ice. So you're getting a fully fleshed out CC deck. I'm also very curious to see how the new cards interact with the existing card pool, because with Rosetta we were getting a lot of new Earth cards, and the Guardian pool will also be expanded in the near future with the Guardian Master Set or Master Pack. I'm not 100% sure how that is named, but there will be new Guardian cards in the near future too. So Jarl might be even better in the near future, but we will see on release how he performs. But I think the very interesting part here, I want to come back to that, is that now things have changed a lot in Flesh and Blood since the last 3 years, when I started playing the game with this Oldum Blitz deck and was super confusing and super hard to come into, and now you are basically starting off when you get your first strike deck as they are called. So I'm just bringing up the picture here. If you are starting the game as a new player, you can play the game with Terra, and then you can advance when you want to play CC and get more into Flesh and Blood, and just buy a Jarl deck, which is a little bit similar to Terra, which is an Earth hero, and so you are used to the mechanics a little bit, and you can then dive into CC. So I'm super stoked for that. Really, it's super amazing, I think. And let me know down in the comments what you think about Jarl and all the new armory decks. Do you think the price point is a little bit off? I mean, when you are starting the game, 60 euros for a starter deck can be a lot, but then if you don't need to buy that many cards alongside the armory deck, then that might be a really good start to come into the game and maybe get one or two very good equipments alongside the armory deck, maybe a few staples, and then you're having a really good deck for around 100 euros, 120 euros. I will definitely buy it. I want to definitely jump into CC with Jarl when it comes out. I'm not sure how many additional cards I will buy to play with Jarl, but I will definitely play with the armory deck at our locals armory. And maybe even when I am playing side events at a calling, not at a pro tour. I decided yet that I don't want to come to the pro tour in London, but maybe we see us at another event and then we get to play a game with Jarl together. So also, if you want to play Jarl, let me know in the comments. I think a lot of players want to try out Jarl and play with him. Guardian is a fan favorite in general, I think. A lot of players really love Bravo. The game has a lot of history with Bravo. Also getting the Starvo, which LL'd the fastest in Flesh and Blood and could play all three elements, so lightning, earth and ice. And so it's super exciting to see this new Guardian Jarl into the meta, and I'm also super happy to see that which started off as as Mangle, back in Crucible of War, and now we have it as a hero. So Mangle, the hero that was spoiled here on the card, is now actually a real hero, and Federico was also the artist who was the artist of Jarl the hero. So Federico, it's so amazing to see this artwork in full power, and it's just perfect. I love it. So I also want to talk a little bit about Oldum again, because we don't know yet the equipment suit, and also we don't know the weapon yet that Jarl will play with, and I think that's a super interesting part to talk about, because when we remember back how Oldum worked, Oldum had a very different hero ability compared to Jarl, but then when we were looking at his signature weapon, which got banned even when he was legal, the Winter's Wail, it was also a pretty similar effect to what we see now in Jarl's hero ability. And so we will see some of those interactions again with those frostbites. It's not that easy to get frostbites with Jarl, but you can also play Stalagmite again and get a frostbite off when blocking. But also I saw that not only the new two Majestics were spoiled, so those are helping you with getting counters on the equipment of your opponent, and then maybe destroying it with Mangle or other cards, and then you also get to use maybe Exposed to the Elements. I saw that this card was bought up already, and a lot of people are speculating on it, but we don't know yet all the Majestics that are in the Armory deck. So I'm stoked to see if Exposed to the Elements is a card that is included in the Armory deck or not, because it just functions perfectly with Jarl's hero ability and maybe the game plan that he will be evolving around. But I think for sure we will see Oakmold coming back. I mean, it's just perfect for Jarl, it was perfect for Oldum, it was perfect for Starvo, and this is just a powerhouse that we will see finally again in the CC meta. And I'm super stoked to see how the signature weapon for Jarl will come out. I really hope it is the weapon that we see on the picture. I guess so. I'm not really yet sure how it will work, but maybe from his hero ability and then also from looking at Mangle, maybe you can destroy equipment even with the weapon. But maybe it's even a new type of weapon because it's not really a hammer, right? But it's also not a sword. I'm not even sure how it's named, a weapon like this. Maybe Federico can explain it a little bit more, or you can explain it in the comments. But nonetheless, like, I think it's great times ahead for Flesh and Blood players, also for new players. It's easier than ever to come into the game, and I think we will see a lot of Jarls running around in the meta in the beginning for sure. And then, we will kind of see how he turns out. But definitely, if you're a new player and you want to learn more about the Armory decks, I would also highly recommend subscribing to the Fabled Academy, because we will also do videos for beginners on these Armory decks, and then also for Jarl. And I'm not sure yet if I will get the Dash.io deck, but if you are interested in seeing beginner videos for Dash.io too, let me know in the comments. And I'm just so happy to making Flesh and Blood videos again. Thank you so much for joining into today's video, and definitely leave a like if you want to see more. So we will see us in the next video.